it, we got a whole lot of sauce. Yeah, I'm in the building, watch me leave the door open. I pull up on my brothers, you know where the fucking smoke is. Swim up on the stage, sign from God, I'm a locust. If I get done, then I be done, I hop in a moment. My mind deep as the ocean, I'm wavy, you can hold me. The golden one that got the gun, the bullet leave you frozen. To push me, I don't swing, acting senseless, get you stolen.
All right, boom. Episode 32 of Say What's Real, guys. Got a special guest, man. Introduce yourself, bro.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Kal Nadi. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, of course, bro. Before off camera, we were just sitting there chopping it up, and we were talking about how. Let's just start. So for the viewers who don't know, tell them what you do, bro. Because I think it's super cool. So this, like, you know, the hip hop Seattle stuff, like what you're trying to do with it, that type of stuff.
So as far as the hip hop Seattle thing, that's one of our ventures. We kind of have a couple other ideas on just different ways that we can offer a platform and a louder voice, a loudspeaker for the community in various ways. Mm-hmm. For the hip hop Seattle, the idea behind that was to kind of create a centralized hub where people can come to and just have an awareness that there's people making music at a very high level, at a high quality in our area, and just to kind of instill more of a pride. It seemed like since we were in high school, mm-hmm. just being an artist at that time, people would mock you. This is before like SoundCloud was a thing, but people would be like, "You make music, like it's a bad thing." Like
we got that a lot growing up.
Yeah,
actually.
definitely.
Yeah.
Why are you rapping over there for? It's just like.
Even the battles, like the battles, or even like just trading bars off.
Yeah, we used to spit during lunch, and whatever like hot bars we thought of in the first few periods, we try to exchange them at each other.
I'd be in like first period, like, oh,
like I got this nigga now.
One of my favorite people that he's gonna fucking laugh when he sees this, but Sharif. Yeah, I used to love battling this guy because there'd be like a crowd of people. And Sharif used to smoke me, so I remember being in first period, like, I gotta fucking come up with some rebuttals and shit. It was so fucking cool. Like, that's how a lot of us started.
Definitely, yeah. That's how we kind of got our walking legs, and just being able to publicly share what was happening in our heads.
Did you ever participate in any of those battles?
I participated in a couple of them, just maybe like 2 or 3. But my homie would always be like, "Yo, you got to get in this one. You got to get in this one." But at that time, I was more into like most def, Talib Kweli, more like the backpack rap. Like I would battle rap the people I know because I like getting personal and vicious, and you can't really do that as high school. People get offended easily. Yeah, people start crying and shit. So against me and Sharif, like back in my crib, like we go at it. We used to have some funny ass exchanges. It was like comedy hour whenever we were on lunch. We just start roasting each other. You remember that?
Dude, you guys would go off. Before we started filming, bro, I called this guy my rap sensei. Because I remember, it's true. Because I remember growing up, you were one of the only people that actually gave me positive feedback when it came to music. Everybody else was like, Ortiz fucking sucks, and you know. But you always like were positive with me and stuff, and I just kept it going, bro. No matter what people said about me, I always just kept rapping.
Yeah. Gotta keep moving forward, man. No matter what.
I think one of the best moments in my life was when this guy. I remember it too because it was the Beamer, Benz, and Bentley beat. You remember that beat?
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, bro, I wrote something to this. You want to hear it?" And I was like, "My brother had never rapped before," so I was like, "Oh, okay." Then he gets on and he fucking kills it, and I was like, "Ooh!"
I feel like I remember that too. I feel like I remember hearing your voice over that beat.
We never dropped it.
Are you sure?
I thought we did drop it, didn't we?
Never did.
No?
We didn't even record it. It might have been something that we rapped like in person though.
Yeah, because I remember,
I thought I heard a Beamer, Benz, or Bentley with your verse, Justice verse. I thought I heard that.
He may have said it to you at school or some shit. But I remember I was so pumped because like me, Zach, Jamal, and Justin, we like just started a rap group.
Yeah.
And I was so pumped because I was like, "Fuck! Finally, I'll get some we'll get recognized and stuff." And so that
power in numbers.
It was one of the earliest like moments of like me being proud as like a rapper.
Yeah.
Because I was about to quit. I was like in the stage of quitting, and then till Justin started rapping. So I was like, I can't quit now, bro. And then he'd always make me like want to do better because he would kill shit. And I'm like, yeah, I want to be on that level
it's
too.
Competition, yeah.
Like Vegeta and Goku, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to say the same thing about Sharif. That's you know, the phrase "steel sharpens steel."
Uh-huh.
When you have somebody just that you respect at a human level, doing something that you're passionate about, it just helps you, you know, break through that barrier, break through that wall. Because you hear something that they say that surprises you, then you end up making something yourself that surprises you. I still got it.
I still got it.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember there's this one song. You're going to fucking laugh. You're going to die laughing when I tell you the song. Me and Justin used to fuck with this song heavy. The song with Cloud9. Were you in Cloud9? You were, weren't you?
No, I was just managing them. This is way back, but I'm just trying to put people on a higher level.
That song was sitting on a cloud. It's like, damn. Do you know that song?
Yeah, that's is that Where I Am?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, that was me and Justin used to fuck with that song so heavy, dude. Like, I loved that
That's
song.
such a good song too. I'm sad that I didn't have the ability to record back then because I feel like I could have made a fire ass video for that record and just give some more life to it. You know, till this day, I made a page for them on like number one music. It's like you post music and exchange messages and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like MySpace, Facebook for musicians. And till this day, they're still getting DMs.
For that song?
Cloud9 still getting DMs because I was like their manager for that. They're like, yo, man, y'all dropping that new album soon?
Were you there? Like, were you there when they first started? How did they even start? Because that's like, I remember back in high school that it felt like the Avengers getting together.
Yeah, because
Bonbon was,
Bonbon and Trevin, like I helped them link up with Steven just because like they were all artists creating at such a high level. I was like, yo, it'd be crazy if they just connect, if y'all just link.
So that's how they met him, was through you?
Yeah, because Trevor knew Steven from school, and then I was kind of like, yo, we should start recording. And then I'm pretty sure Steven had Anali come and record some records with him.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he knew Bonbon and Trevin, so they're like, why don't we just put something together? I think they have like 4 or 5 records all together that they ever recorded. I got them somewhere on my computer.
I remember Taylor Garner used to work with Steven.
Yeah, they had a fire, I think it's called Potty Mouth, Taylor's debut.
Yeah.
They ain't never dropped it, but
I remember he used to be upset with Steven a lot because he felt like Steven wouldn't let him do like the kind of rap he wanted to do. So when I saw the Cloud9 song,
yeah,
I was like, finally, bro. Like if he just lets Trevin and Bonbon
do their thing,
people are gonna fucking love it.
That's the thing about it being in any group, especially if it's not familial, if it's not something that you knew from way back. When you have a difference in vision and how something should be executed, you kind of have to have a compromise. I'm sure when you two work with each other, you kind of like, yo, I feel like the track should go this way. And you're like, yeah, I fuck with you, so I'm going to agree. Sometimes when you're creative and you feel so strongly about your own pen, about your own talent, it's like, nah, this song should go this way.
Yeah.
And then the engineer and the other people on the song may not feel that way. Pretty sure that's why Slaughterhouse broke up, right?
It was because they had so many different behind the scenes going
and then
on.
like Shady Records, is that the name?
Yeah.
The label, they're like choosing their production, so they're like, oh, we're not choosing our beats, and then we're not all agreeing on how the song should sound. That's why we still recording.
Is that what happened with Cloud9? Why did they break up?
I'm sure it was a similar thing where it was just hard, especially at that time, for everybody's own lives, for your own time to kind of reserve time to link up. And then when you're linking up, these aren't really people that you kick with all the time. You know, I'm sure they're not like in their free time all around each other.
Yeah.
So maybe you have a verse or you have a record that you want to add to the you want to pitch, and then maybe they may not rock with it. At that time too, Steven was very particular in how the music should sound. So you know what I mean? At the end of the day, he was the Dr. Dre. He get the final say.
And it was his setup too.
He's the one recording you, so it's like, yo. And it's like, this is something that I see a lot of producers, they kind of separate the artist from like the person. They see the artist almost as like an instrument. So when you view the vocals as like an instrument rather than a person with like their own idea and concepts, it kind of like dehumanizes them. And you kind of, you're able to be like, yo, I'm going to make this sound like this because I said so. But then in my opinion, a true collaboration, which is the only time I ever work with people is organic collaboration, is when we all have an idea, we're all willing to exchange ideas, and at the end it's something that we all feel proud about. Because why we collaborating if we're making the final finished product isn't something that I'm like, chef kiss.
Well, I mean, I give them credit, bro. Cloud9 was one of the first times I was like, fuck, this can actually be a thing.
No, they're definitely like rock star status. If they had visuals and they continued and stuff, because right now each of them, I don't know Anali, his music, I don't know like his music page, so I don't know his growth, but the music Bonbon's making in 2020 is 2Bs. This shit is ridiculous.
And you said you kind of like manage some stuff, right?
Yeah, you know, yeah. I just be. I like to say I'm the Scottie Pippen, and I put somebody in the position of Jordan. I'm just gonna keep lobbing you the nicest alleys because I know y'all gonna make it. And at the end of the day, I'm on a team, so we all winning.
I love Bonbon's music. I've always said to Justin, like when the early days of his career,
Yeah.
I used to be like, fuck, man, if he just does this, and he kept doing it.
Yeah.
So he's hella good. I'm actually glad you work with him. That's actually cool, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm really excited. We're gonna record his first video. I think the song's called Game Changer. He dropped a snippet of it on his on all his socials, so you can check that out. It's gonna be my first video I'm recording, and we're just gonna drop content after content after content.
Do you and Mo make music still, or are you still? How's that going?
Mo Bands? Yeah, Mo Bands is actually he's now part of Do It All into ENT, which is Bonbon's label. So it's 2Bs and Mo Bands right now, and Mo got some shit coming. They Bon played me a record that they got together. That's just a hit. This shit's a hit.
I'm so proud of those guys.
This
bro.
shit's a hit, my nigga. This shit's fire. Mo came with the heat. So like I said, man, something I used to always tell my brother Sharif is that, listen, just like riding a bike, your craft is nothing that ever deteriorates. It's not like fucking iron in the rain. It's not going to rust.
Yeah.
Even if you don't grab a microphone for a year, 2 years, you still have everything you learned in your mind. You only get better with time.
I love that mind. Dude, come on, bro. I say that all the time, bro. Like, that's such a good mindset to have. If you're really a rapper, it's almost like basketball.
Yeah.
Like you're never gonna forget how to shoot the ball, bro. Like it might be rusty at first, but the mechanics are still gonna be there.
A retired NBA player will still shit on anybody at the YMCA.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing for a rapper. Like, yo,
Yeah.
I put 10, 15 years into this craft. Just because you haven't heard anything drop doesn't mean I won't smoke you on a record.
And you said before we shot this episode that you and Sharif have a project together.
We got a project recorded, but like it was recorded like last year, but we ain't, because we record a lot of music at a time, and then I try to, at this moment, now that I have a better understanding of like the marketing, of the business, of what it takes to get what you have in front of the right people, I kind of took things a little slow. Dropped the tape in July 3rd, and I let that do its course. I'm dropping a single this Friday featuring Gifted Youngsters, Reef Nuru, and produced by the Hist.
So he is gonna be on the song.
He's gonna be on the song, and his
cool.
verse is literally like contender, like verse of the year contender.
Fuck yeah, dude. I like hearing that type
and
of shit.
And the stuff that he's been dropping consistently, it got me rolling up my sleeves whenever I'm in the studio. You know what I mean? So that's the energy that we bring in.
He was one of the first early people that used to motivate the fuck out of me for rapping too. He kind of like, me and him would go back and forth, but I think it was kind of like a friendly.
Like
it
I
was
said,
never beef, but it was always friendly back and forth.
It's the artist's. It's your vision, dog. And for me, you can never be mad at another artist having a different vision than you.
Wow.
We have two different set of eyes.
Yeah.
Why am I supposed to see everything you see? It shouldn't be that way, but we should just help each other try to like, yo, this is what my vision is. You think you could help me do it? And then on another record, yo, my vision is this way. Let's take it this way. It don't got to be your way on every single song. It don't got to be your way every single time. Sometimes it's good for you just to be the assist. You're still going to benefit off of it. So people don't understand that, you know, especially when you were a creator, because I used to be very heavy-handed, very like, you know, we all got ego. Bottom line, we all got ego.
If you're an artist.
You have to at some point tell yourself you're the shit enough times for yourself to believe it at a molecular level. So it's difficult now that I'm this age. Like I said, with age, I feel like I have a better understanding on what it takes to make something that everybody can grow up and benefit off of, rather than it being my way. Because I used to mix like what y'all was doing. I used to mix and have people come through. What the fuck you spit that verse for? Go back there, write something else.
Bro, there's been times where like someone takes like 3 hours on a verse, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't got time for that. So
you gotta just be prepared. That's studio etiquette.
Well, a lot of the times, I don't know if you notice this too. A lot of people in this area either they don't have studio etiquette, they don't have business etiquette, which is why it goes into your hip hop Seattle stuff that me and you were talking about earlier, right? Okay, so for instance, you had mentioned earlier the whole, you guys interviewed J Loud, right? And you said you only got like, what, 12 minutes of that audio?
Yeah, and because of technicalities and just because of issues with nature that was out of everyone's hands, but at the same time, just people's personal faults at not paying attention, we kind of had that interview lost. A couple other times too, when we were working with people and just not everybody's bringing their 100% A game to it. I like to think every time you do something, it's like a potluck. I'm bringing my food, you're bringing your food, and we all finna grub. It's not like I'm not over here feeding people. I'm not a food
None
truck.
of us bring our grub, but we all
Yeah,
eat,
like come on, man. I got the small ass pot of lasagna. I ain't trying to.
Well, the reason I bring that up is because, you know, since we create content, right? Like I'm always on a page. I'm on this page, and if everybody else isn't on this page, it just feels like it's not gonna. Like last week when we did the Jaye King interview, right? That's the first time we ever had issues with footage.
Right.
And I was upset. I was like, fuck, this has never happened before. Now it's happening. You see what I'm saying?
It's
like,
always when you least expect it.
yeah, like, oh, okay, like we get, let's say if I got a Drake interview and then I come to find out we can't use any of that footage. Dude, I don't know what I would do, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It taxes on you, you know? Especially when you're passionate about what you do, people don't really understand it. Like if you're really into selling lemonade and you're outside and your lemonade pitcher spills, you're going to be freaking out.
Yeah, 'cause
somebody
that's
looking
your
at you is going to be like, what's this bitch nigga mad about lemonade pouring? But they don't know you spent 20 hours getting that recipe concoction just right.
Or setting up the stand or whatever.
Setting up the stand, making sure it's, you know, going to bring people. So yeah, it just, people don't understand how much work you put in, and how much investing you did. And a lot of times people don't understand you're giving them the lob.
Or you could say, like for you make it, or us, we make it look easy when it's not easy.
Definitely.
So I
yeah.
could see why the whole lemonade analogy, it works. Because it's like, oh, you're crying over lemonade. But it's because we made it look easy. You don't see what goes on behind the picture. Like, yeah.
People don't understand how, and that's why I got to give you props too. Because people don't understand the efficiency. You too, Justin. People don't understand the efficiency and the amount of mental capacity you need to be able to do this at a consistent level and still be appealing and look like you're growing every time.
Like weekly?
Yeah. Like when you look at y'all's first posts and now you see the glow up. Same like when you see our early content and you see it now, you can hear the audio better. The lighting is better. The conversations are more in-depth, more personal. So you just got to give it time and see people grow. And you also have to respect that they took the time to make things grow. You can't be mad at the grocery store for their prices. A farmer grew that shit. You didn't do nothing for it.
Yeah, so
your hungry ass just wants to eat and consume content.
Yeah.
You don't know what it took to put the content out there. So it just like, you got to have some common sense. I know we're at a stage in the world where common sense is rare. It's almost like oxymoron. It's not common anymore. So people want to always have their hand down, always want to receive without investing and putting in. And I've always been a person where if we're out somewhere, even as a little ass kid, if we're going to the store, I got ups. And I came from a poor ass family, but I got ups every single time. I got something to contribute every single time. So I never understand people that you're mad that somebody wants you to contribute. You're mad because somebody wants to put you at a higher level. Somebody wants to make sure more people hear your voice. What are you mad about, really? Are you mad that Are you afraid that when you get put on that position, you're not going to get the engagement or the attention that you thought you were going to get?
I think a lot of people around here. I think this is important for Seattle to hear. For the people at home that are watching, this is super important what you're saying. This is good, like for Seattle to finally become its own thing.
Yo, we all gotta have our hands in.
Growing pains. We go through growing pains like this, bro. Like you're spitting straight knowledge right now, dude. It's straight facts. Like it is. It really. It's. He spins straight knowledge. It's facts, bro. This guy. No. So earlier you were talking about. I told you I was super proud when I saw you guys get the Mosey and his cousin.
Yeah, that's,
so for the people at home, take us through that one, man.
Technically, it wasn't a Mosey interview. That was Bankhead Jay. We got Bankhead Jay to sit down with us. That was really dope. We're gonna actually shoot another interview. We took that interview down.
Oh, you guys took it off your page?
Yeah. By his request, we're gonna shoot a better interview. Something.
He didn't want it up.
No, I think he just wants to update, make it more familiar. I think now that he had that record come out with Mosley, now the label and the machine is ready to push him. So, you know, when the machine's ready to push you, they got to make sure that, like, you don't have anything out there that's not fitting in line with the motive is, what the message is.
I see.
Like, for example, maybe another media place wants to have his first interview, and you can't really have the first interview if people YouTube his name and they see us, like, 8 months ago interview. You know what I mean?
That's kind of suck. Did that not, like...
That comes with the business. For me, I'm just appreciative that we had the opportunity to sit down and talk to them.
Oh, so you didn't feel some type of way about that?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
Because for me, I understand, like we were talking about, it's about the growth. You can't be mad about people having to grow. At some point, the people that you grow up in your household, like we move out of our parents' house, right?
Yeah.
Our siblings move out of our parents' house. Sometimes we get married and move to another country. Like shit like that happens, and you can't be mad about stuff like that. You can't be mad about people having to grow and get to the next level. For me, I applaud it. I try to make sure everybody get their prestige, you know what I mean? It's like we're all playing the same shooting game. I'm just trying to back y'all up.
I
That's
like that
it.
analogy, bro.
Because there hasn't been anybody willing to ever. The people that had the opportunity to, the voices to, and the resources to wouldn't. So I had to make sure that we had to come together. I want more people to just be proud about their area. We live in a beautiful region. Listen, America's not perfect. The world's not perfect. But for what we got it pretty nice.
Seattle's very beautiful.
And
Very
at the
beautiful
same
state.
time, it's not safe either. It's not sweet either. We have a lot of people living in poverty. We have a lot of people living in situations that really aren't, like, they're negative situations, right? So I want people to understand that when they think of Seattle, Washington, it's not just hipsters, it's not just techies.
A lot of people think.
Yeah, it's
think that, though.
we have people
Yeah.
living from the gutter, from the mud. We have people
From like Hilltop to Othello,
Yeah.
from Federal Way to all that stuff.
We got people living from 2-parent households, you know, thankfully. We have all different kinds of people. So I want people to acknowledge that. Like, we're really like unlike any other region, especially making music. We already been legendary for the rock music, for our grunge influence, Jimi Hendrix. You know what I mean? We're legendary already. I want people to understand that Washington been legendary.
Already, but with rap, we can make it go this.
And we got people already at the level performing right now that should be nationwide. They just need to have people at the home team supporting them.
I think
That's
so.
it.
I saw a picture the other day that I think fits what you're saying perfectly because it said something along the lines of, you know, these people, like especially let's say Des Moines, right? So there's a lot of people that we went to school with. We all came from the same place. But as you further your career with Hip Hop Seattle and what you're trying to do with musically, some people might still be in the same place. Maybe that's why they don't share us, or maybe that's why they don't share you or promote you, because it's like they don't want to help you get further while they're still in the same place.
I think I read something like that.
Yeah, and
shared
it's like
before,
that's kind of like a sucky thing to like think about. That like you're so humble, bro. Like that's like when you're like, hey, I dropped a new song. You're not like begging nobody. You're not forcing it on nobody.
just if you want to check it
Hey,
out.
yeah, and then like there's these people like, I'm not gonna help Kal Nadi get.
You know, I can't help it. Like, I used to be a very vindictive person. I used to be like a really, really negative person. And as I've grown older, I kind of have more of an understanding. I offer more understanding than I do judgment, or I try to. So for the people like that, for example, the people, it's like they're stuck in time. And they kind of, like you said, they don't want to share because it reminds them of where they're at. I just show them empathy. Because for me, I understand what that's like. I remember being in that same bubble. I remember when I was younger and I felt like, damn, man, the world's moving, but I'm not. Everything
I felt
around
like
me is
that
getting
too.
better, but I'm not getting better. I feel like I'm getting worse. I'm deteriorating. I'm unraveling, right? So I just try to show them empathy. For example, like the people that get mad at the page are like, hey, you didn't share this, you didn't share that. I always, you know, my bad. I apologize. As soon as we get the chance, as soon as we get the time, I'm going to make sure we put the spotlight on you. I like saying the spotlight because the light, there's enough light for everybody. We just got to take turns. You know what I'm saying? When you, for all my weed smokers, when you're hitting a blunt, right? And you got people in the session, are you the one chiefing for 10 minutes? You pass the damn thing. It's like a baton. You pass the baton. Just like a fucking relay race.
You don't hold on to it. Till
You don't
until
hold
it's
on to
done.
that shit until that shit's a
Yeah.
finger stinger, you know what I mean? You put the spotlight on everybody.
Well, for people at home, like you run a very lucrative music page. It's like one of the first of its kind here in Seattle. It really is. You really are.
It's light work. It's getting there.
It is, but no, you are. You really. I know you're trying to be humble right now, which I get it, right? But like you basically kind of paved the way for that type of stuff here. You did. It's an innovative type of thing, like in Seattle, right? So, for people at home that are watching, and especially artists who might click on this, bro, tell them how many messages you're gonna do. Like how, like what, like. You said before, like what? It's like 200 plus.
Yeah, like
that's fucking insane.
So
dog.
when we were like active, and we were normally posting on a regular, the unread DMs would get up to 100, 150, 200, and that's just so hard. When you're doing this on the little free time you have, literally this is like me and my brother's side hustle. My brother Mansa. It's literally what we do on our free time. Like, yo, You got 30 minutes to post something? I'm gonna be at work. Yo, can you do this? And so we made things happen because of that. But but just the way things are now, you know, because of COVID, because work has been uncertain, you know, we kind of had to shuffle our occupations and our schedules around, so we had less time to focus on a page. So because of that, sometimes DMs get left unread for maybe a week, 2 weeks. Sometimes after a long week of work, you don't have the mental fortitude to look at somebody. It takes a lot to make the captions.
And you showed
to
me.
be honest with
and you showed me.
I showed you like the app I use to make the captions, because I try to make the captions as appealing for the reader and something that actually is true to the artist, right? I don't like to say, yo, new record from this nigga, go check it out. I don't like that. I gotta be like, yo, this, you know, you like soulful records, go check this out. You like trap records, go check this out. He got an album coming out, by the way, you know what I mean? It's gotta be more, I like doing things with a follow through. I like to make sure I make my shot. So I don't touch it if I don't have the time to make sure it's perfect. So because of that, sometimes people feel slighted, and I understand that. Because in their mind and their interpretation, I sent something, days pass, I still don't get anything.
Yeah.
So I can understand that. So for me, I try to show empathy and not judgment.
You guys make it seem like it's bigger than it is, right? You told me that before.
And we wish it was, dog, but it's super hard to find somebody you can trust, like an intern that you trust with a password that can regularly make the stuff and not get paid.
Imagine finding out
like
Google's
no money,
ran by
no
one
money.
person. Imagine finding out Google's ran by one person.
I'm
not saying it is,
you be
but
flipping out.
See what I'm saying? Like you guys, that's amazing that you guys are able to make it seem like there's more than just you and Mansa and like and Henry and all them. Like it's you know, you're making it. That's how good you guys made the page. So maybe artists that are like that don't get a message back right away, right?
Right.
You guys like, hey, we work just like you. We work a 9 to 5 just like you. You know, we have family. We have this and that. I can't sit there and fucking, you know.
The thing is, though, you can't explain that to literally every DM that's somebody's feeling slighted.
Yeah.
After a while, it just sounds like you're cop and please, too. Especially for somebody that already has a negative opinion about you without even knowing you or trying to understand your situation. You know what I'm saying? And what's weirder, too, is if people don't see activity on the page, if you didn't see anybody get posted for 3 weeks, why are you mad you didn't get posted? Nobody got posted. Right? It just means we didn't have the opportunity to, and trust me, I be busting my ass to make sure, like, we stick to it. But again, like, I'm but a mortal man. You know what I mean? I have my own, like, things I deal with on the regular that I try to make sure my family is good, my mental space is good. I'm making sure I take care of me. Because you can't really do something at a high level. You can't create. I can't give you the lob if my ankle twisted. I'm gonna be benched.
Were you guys you were at one point you guys were charging artists to get on?
Yeah,
right?
so originally how the page was my brother Manso would, you know, me and him would check out who's doing things, right? And whatever we see, again, just through hashtags, we don't know nobody, right? From what we see through hashtags, all right, let's post that, let's share that. When we got to enough numbers where people were actively messaging us, this when we had no equipment, we were doing this on our free time, so we had goals. We wanted to be able to shoot content. We wanted to be able to do behind the scenes footage at concerts. We wanted to have people. You know how many times somebody said I had
done a goof one, didn't you?
Yeah. You know how many times somebody said they had a concert and there's like no footage of it? You remember that, Andrew? How many people growing up like, yo, I performed at such and such.
There was no footage of it, yeah.
No footage whatsoever. And for me, I know that pain. I know that feeling. People can't see your growth. They can't see your elevation if they didn't see where you came from. You know what I mean? That's
True.
vital. That's literally one of the recipes to make you a superstar. That's
That
how people
happened to me and
fuck
you
with you.
for the when we performed at.
When you first performed?
When we did the Columbia City Theater, we tried to record it, and then like they fucked up the audio there, so that we didn't even want to put the footage out because it's like they fucked up Justin's mic and like the audio. So I get what you're saying though. No, that's important. That's very important, dude.
Yeah.
So
especially for like the average hip hop listener, not the person that hunts hip hop. For the average mainstream listener, they see stuff like that, and that resonates with them more than just seeing your cover art, new single, new album. They need to see some vlog. They need to see the person that's speaking. 2020, y'all artists, if you're not going on IG Live, if you're not putting content out that's not just you in front of a mic, you're shooting yourself in the foot. People don't just want good music. They want a personality. They want a story. They want a lot of factors in incorporating who you are. It's not just, yo, this record is hot. Sometimes that works.
So what do you say to the people? Because I'm actually glad that, you know, that you're not like shying away from this. What do you say to the people that say, hey, Hip Hop Seattle, you guys don't charge these guys, you don't charge them, but you're asking me to pay? So how would you respond to like artists and people who say that about you guys?
The thing about that was, so we were charging in the beginning when we got to a certain level, and then my brother was able to get camera equipment, so then he was able to do the post-ups.
Yeah.
Which has been vital, helping a lot of artists go into their neighborhoods and recording
Like
who they
Frenchie
are.
and all them, right?
Yeah. So those post-ups, they help the artists as well as help us for content, but they do more because they help the people in Washington understand there's actual human beings in here that rap, that they're in blood and flesh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not just an avatar profile picture.
That like they're real. You get to
It's
see
a
where
real
they
person.
live.
You
their
see their
neighborhoods.
personality.
Yeah.
You hear them laugh, and that resonates with people.
Yeah.
That's how people fuck with you longer. That's the reason why I was riding with Currency, with Wiz Khalifa, with Dom Kennedy. I seen the behind the scenes footage. I seen how funny these guys were outside of the music.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, these some cool ass dudes, right?
Yeah,
it's the same elements, the same thing. So we wanted to, for a solid foundation, you gotta have income. Bottom line, we're literally doing this on our free time with our own families to support. How do you grow if you're not taking profit? At the same time, the value was always low. It was like $10 in the beginning. It was $20. I think we capped it at $30 in the beginning of this year. And then when Corona happened, I spoke with my team, my brother, and I said, let's just not charge anybody, because at this point, what I started seeing is more of the cemented artists, the bigger artists. They're on the page all the time, right?
Yeah.
They have a budget all the time. Some of the younger artists that maybe they put all of their money into the studio, into the video, like I remember I did. I remember you remember those times of like you putting it all into one thing. I want them to be able to have shine. So I said, you know what? The only prerequisite is you just gotta be from Washington. You from Washington and you DM me a request, I'll put it up. If it's a video, it gets put on the page. If it's a link, a song link or whatever, we put on the story. Local businesses, this is what I'm doing too. Local businesses, all local businesses will promo you, will share you. Black businesses will promo you, will share you. Because at the moment right now, we're good as far as the supplementary income. We got our camera, right? We got all that shit. I bought all my own equipment with my own money. I got my camera, my own gimbal. I got all that stuff that I bought from my Corona, working through Corona money. So now I just want to be able to put people on the platform, and I want to see them excel. And I want more people to have pride in their community, because our community is killing it. We come from a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different races. We live a lot of different lives. But as a community, musically, we doing it. We hot as Atlanta. In my opinion, we hot as Houston. I know the underground of those cities. I'm a music fanatic. I'm tapped in. I see what they got. I see who's on the up and up in those cities.
We have a lot of talented people.
We got a lot of people that would smoke artists around the country, and I say that on any microphone. Y'all can quote me. We got artists out here that will run you niggas out. Guaranteed.
Yep.
So I just want people to have pride in their community. I want people to understand that, yo, it takes a lot to do what we do, but we're trying to do it for you as best as we can.
So when it comes to like local rapper list, I know a lot of people get mad at those, and I don't really get mad at them. I just don't like them because like every list I've ever seen, it'll be like Mosey, obviously fucking Mosey, dude, right? But then it'll be like just a bunch of people that me and you talked about earlier, right? No names in particular, right? Because I'm not even trying to
nobody. Yeah,
I don't want to tap that energy, but there's a lot of names where like somebody will reach out to you, right? Like, I'm the best rapper in Washington, bro. Check out my sound. And then like you go to their page, they have no music, no albums, they don't promote themselves, no videos.
They're like, it's before they've started.
Yeah, and like, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But a lot of these lists don't have people that like have actual like you
discographies.
Like you'll make a song about bitch, and then you're on the list.
Like, it's kind of hot.
Yeah, but then like there's people that actually deserve to be on those lists that don't even get mentioned.
That spend hours recording their songs and put their heart and blood into their lyrics. And
so I don't really put too much weight on those top 10 lists or whatever the lists that come out recently, because they're not really like.
There's no weight to them. You know what I like to make the comparison with the lists? being mad at somebody's list is like getting mad somebody's wearing a fit a particular way.
Oh, like a hat.
You're like, why you wearing those jeans with those shoes, nigga?
Yeah.
Wear it like how I wear it. It's like, I'm wearing what I want to wear. It's like, I'm making my own list. So I don't put any credence into a list. If you really fuck with that person that's speaking, then yeah, you know, by all means, you listen to whatever that person's saying. But if you have like family members, if you have siblings and you know, like, nigga, I like chocolate, he like vanilla. Nigga, in your own family, you know, people don't agree with you 100%. So why are you expecting random people to?
That's true. I mean, if me and Justin disagree on a lot, why would I expect everybody else to?
Somebody I have no relation to. Yeah.
Yeah. So last week I interviewed Jaye King. You've heard of him, right? Obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like him. He's a good guy. Every time I've ever talked to him, very professional. You know, straightforward. So my goal for this segment that I'm about to get into is I kind of want to not heal the relationship between Zooted Gang and you guys, but kind of just like bridge it, right? Because we're all from the same place.
Right.
We all have the same goals. I don't want to see anybody beef or like anybody have bad blood towards each other. I think the problem that he had with you guys, right, it's just miscommunication from both sides. Not really like blaming you or him or whatever. I will admit that communication could be better. I try to be a little bit more quick on the response for the DMs, and if we can make a date, I try to let people know ahead of time, like, don't expect it. Right? Like, to post their stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and you know, he's a very passionate guy. Obviously, like they're all into music and they love rap. So of course, what he said last week on the episode came up. It might have come across to people like it wasn't on no hater shit. I think what he said was like he had legit gripes, right? So yeah. So just going forward, I'm trying to make it to where like you guys, what you just explained earlier. Like, you know, if you request it, we'll do it.
Yeah. You just gotta let me know. I don't know everything. I'm not God. I'm not the son of God either. I'm not Jesus. So
yeah.
I don't got my eyes everywhere. I got my eyes focused on my money, like my work, to make sure I supply my family and myself for survival. Like that's where I'm focused at, not DMs. So
I mean, and you have posted them before. So like,
oftentimes.
Like even when Tay Zooted did the Red Room freestyle here, you guys posted that.
I think so.
I remember when he did.
Yeah, but I got Tay's last video up from like 3 weeks ago.
The 80 proof one, right?
The one where he was in the bar. I can't remember the title. It's a good song though.
It's recently though, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you guys should just talk. I don't think there should be any like ill. I don't think he actually has real bad blood towards you.
For me though, it's like what do I discuss with people that have gripes? Because if they don't understand in their own life, they have their own things they're juggling with, that they're not supplying monetary. You don't go into McDonald's and get mad that you ain't got fries when you ain't paid them for fries, right? If you have a service that exists, and if it's a free service, you should be a little bit more human on how you respond. A lot of DMs want to treat the platform like it's its own thing, like there's not a person behind it. Like, yo, man to man, we can chop it up. And you can let me know what issues you have. This is to anybody, because I have a lot of people in my DMs like that. You can let us know what issues you have, and then I'll tell you what we can do to try to resolve it. That's how I treat everybody. Because at the end of the day, I just want y'all to look better.
Well,
y'all already look good. I want y'all to look better.
It's different because, like, you kind of mentioned this earlier. If I message your personal page, like your Kal Nadi page, no, like, I'm directly talking to you, but like if I can see where people get mixed up if they message Hip Hop Seattle. They don't treat you like a human because they see the logo, the name. They don't see you. They just see that, and I can see kind of why they're getting like that angry, weird feeling.
And it was weird too, because sometimes. So how would you interpret messages like this, where somebody just sends a YouTube link, nothing, just a YouTube link?
I've got that a lot.
What am I supposed to do with that? Like, I'm gonna check it out, but introduce yourself. You know what I mean? Say, this is what I got. Who is in the video? I always say this too. Let me know who is the videographer, who are the features, who's the producer. It takes a long time to make the post when I got to do the research, because I don't post without crediting everybody. That's always my thing. Everybody need to get credit, because there's a lot of moving pieces to make this shit look good, right? So when you just send me a link,
yeah, it's a professional way.
It's a professional way. Hey, my G, I got a message like that today. Hey, my guy, I got a project coming up in a couple of weeks. This is going to be my lead single. The video just dropped. I'd appreciate if you posted it. As a human, I read that and I see, you know what, I got this guy. And I'm going to be more inclined to do it as quick as possible in my free time. But if I got 30 minutes of free time on my lunch break and I'm seeing a bunch of niggas just send YouTube link, and you want me to do all the research and stuff, I'm not going to do that on my 30-minute break. I'm going to listen to a podcast, listen to a YouTube video, eat my lunch, and get back to work. You feel me?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And I was actually going to ask you, that's one of the hardest things about reviewing people's music around here, because like I don't want to shit on Seattle rappers. So if someone sends me a song and it's not good, what do you want me to do, bro? Do you want me to go on camera and say it's not good? But then you don't like me. Then now I'm a hater. Now you're dissing me. It's like, yeah, I can't review all your guys' stuff, because if it's not good, I don't want to like bash on you, bro. I don't want to stop your growth.
This is what a couple of artists used in the early days of Hip Hop Seattle. They'd send their stuff and they'd be like, "What do you think?" And my guy Manso was the one doing the trying to give people the game, right? And he'd be like, "Yo, your audio's not good, quality is not good, the flow kind of needs some work. Keep at it."
And what would they say? They get all mad?
No, I appreciate it.
Oh,
because if somebody's telling you stuff that I know. Come on, guys, they know the audio's trash. They know the Purchase Your Beats Today fucks up this track when they play it 20 times through the record.
Purchase Your Beats Today. Yeah.
It's like, yo, how do you expect me to interpret this when this isn't your best? And I can kind of hear some semblance of talent. Like for me, I like to see the coal. I like to see people, the diamond in the coal. You know what I mean? I know we all can be sharp as hell. We all can be elevated. So we're just trying to see, like, just work at that. And you either take it or you leave it. If they're mad at you, then that's some self-issues they got to take. They got to get some thicker skin. You can't be an artist and not expect people to review your craft. And you should always expect people to not like it.
That's gonna happen.
That prepares you, so when people do like it, it's a surprise. You feel good about it, and it doesn't go straight to your ego. Niggas will drop a record, get 3 positive comments, and be like, "Yo, I'm the shit, bro. I'm the next wave. I'm on No Jumper next week. What you mean?"
Yeah.
Come on.
A couple people from here have been on No Jumper. I know Louis, right?
Was Louis on No Jumper?
From KF Justin?
He was posted on their page. He wasn't actually on the podcast.
No, but he was posted on their page. That's what I meant. He wasn't on the podcast, but he was like, they posted his music video on their No Jumper page. There was someone else from here too. I forgot what their fucking name is.
See, no Jumper was one of the reasons why me and my brother made the idea for the Hip Hop Seattle thing. Because we saw this guy. I know I told the story before, but we saw Adam. We were watching No Jumper in his living room. We saw him. He does $100 song submissions. You pay $100 and he plays your music on his live. There's not even a lot of people on his live, so it's not a lot of people checking it out. But this guy plays the first 6-7 seconds of the record on somebody's SoundCloud page before the beat has even dropped. Says he doesn't like the song, exits it out. He pocketed $100 for playing 6 seconds of a song. Didn't even give homie feedback, not even giving him anything that would benefit him. He just stole this nigga's money. So I saw that. My brother saw that, and we're like, "Yo, dog, why?" And we know a lot of Seattle artists that were paying No Jumper
to
get posted, to get credited, and they're not getting no feedback. That's the reason why we were watching at those times, and we just happen to see how he's treating other people at the same time.
A lot of people didn't like him for doing that. Yeah.
So we're like, "Yo, you know what? We're not gonna let somebody dictate how filthy our region is, how dope our city is, how dope our state is. We know people." Locally,
we should be dictating that, not other people.
100%. So that's why I was like, you know what? Let's just make something, that clarifies how on point we are. We're literally the next wave.
I can definitely see
2020.
Yeah.
The next 10 years. I've been saying this since 2019. And 2020 to 2030 is literally our decade. This is literally our decade. I know y'all see other people heating up. There's more collabs happening. There's more people crossing where they would never cross before.
We're making media groups that have never existed before.
That's what I'm saying.
Podcasts
Content.
like this, groups like your guys' that's never existed before.
No. There's a lot of other people starting to make podcasts and they're really good at it. And they're actually they're adding to the pot. They're making content like your page. They're making content that's actually engaging, entertaining, and it has something to do with the region because there's people talked about it from here.
Bro, I'm not just saying this. I say I always say that I'm kind of paving the way, but you are, bro. Like you are paving the way for this type of stuff here. I've never seen that before. Me and Justin, when we did the WPOB podcast stuff, it was kind of like inspired by No Jumper. So I could definitely see it. One of the reasons, when it comes to his page, I'm a fan of him, bro. But recently, I don't know if did you hear about the whole Odell Beckham thing that happened recently? That the rumor that
I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast, and they like mentioned it where he got some chick to eat his ass out.
no, some girl went on Adam 22's.
That wasn't it? Oh shit!
It's about something similar, but these group of girls went on Adam 22's page. They had their own little podcast, and they basically said that Odell Beckham likes to get shitted on.
That's what it was, yeah.
And to me, that's why I was like, damn, Adam, I really like you, bro.
Why is this content?
But like, what the fuck is this doing on your channel? Like, what does this do for you?
Yeah.
So today on Twitter, he was making fun of 6ix9ine, and I commented back to him and I said, yeah, bro, I'd rather see this. Like, I'd rather see 6ix9ine on Nelk than 3 girls on your podcast talking about like like Odell likes to get shitted on, and like you're like just starting all these weird gossip rumor, and then his excuse was, oh, but I wasn't there for that. How can I control that? You don't have to post it. That's why I had a problem with him.
Yeah.
That's why I told you when I messaged you on some like friend/professional shit, it's because a lot of that came from Ak and Adam's beef.
I agree with, even though Ak's delivery is trash because he's way too drunk. I agree with his sentiments because Adam been sneak dissing him for years.
And
for years, every time I watch a random clip,
that,
it's just like, hey, academics, such nerd. In the
he'll
middle of
bring
like, they'll be
people on
talking
to,
about
like-
somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't want to do that here. We're trying to build Seattle, right?
That's what I'm in it for.
I didn't want it to be like, oh, Andrew brought someone on that doesn't like me, right? And you could have thought that if like I didn't message you. And I keep bringing people on that don't like Hip Hop Seattle, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Cal, like, yeah, what he's doing. I didn't want that, bro. So like, I don't want to get to that point where like our podcast is like just a bunch of thoughts talking about like, oh,
The gossip hour.
yeah. It's like I didn't want it to become that. So
No, you're a stand-up individual, for bringing me on. I appreciate that. And just for, I commend you for how you treat these situations because that's good to know how to maintain relationships. You can have people discuss. For me, it's like I can always be discussed. I don't mind it. I come from a very strict background where people would critique me my whole life, so I kind of have a thick skin for it. So now, rather, I like to try to see if I did something, if there's fault in it, because like I said, I had a big ego, right?
yeah.
When you don't see the stuff you do that's in fault because you don't want to see it, that just holds you back. I'm trying to be the best me I can be. So whenever somebody got an issue with me, I'm gonna hear you out. Let's hear it out. What you got to say. I'm not gonna shit on what you got to say. I'm not gonna hate on what you got to say. I'm just gonna take it. If I got something in my capabilities I can do to alleviate the situation, if I did anything wrong, I'm gonna do it. And in the future, y'all know where I stand. That's always how I handle it.
I commented on a picture of yours recently. You had like the mic, like, and your little
Yeah,
setup.
the little setup, yeah.
Yeah, I think you should start doing that for real because this Spotify money is getting crazy out here, bro. And you just mentioned Joe Budden.
Yeah.
And there was a rumor that he had asked Spotify for $250 million. He wasn't going to get that for sure. But I mean, like...
I don't know about that number, but I know he did. Okay,
That's
I
what
don't
Andrew,
know about
what I should say, sorry, is that's what Andrew Schultz said, that he heard from a reliable source.
Charlemagne, and Charlemagne doesn't
Probably
like Joe
fucking
Budden.
Charlemagne, yeah. It was probably
So
Charlemagne.
I know there's like a little bias in that. Okay, for me, people were trying to shit on Joe Budden's perspective because they're like, you're not a podcast distributor. Like he kept trying to Gimbal, whatever, the one that Spotify ended up buying after they brought on Joe and Amber. Not Amber, it was that one comedian, that blonde comedian, the white woman.
It wasn't Whitney Cummings, was it?
No, it was the one that made that Netflix special. Nobody watched it.
Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer.
Yeah. So
they had Joe Budden and Amy Schumer on, and then they signed the other podcast distributors. So then Joe Budden was like, damn, they're adding a lot of... They're basically... They signed us because they wanted us to be Spotify's main podcast, and now they're building a whole stable of podcasters. So basically, that's how you undercut their talent. That's what Diddy, that's what label's been doing for years. I got a hot artist right now, the Migos. We got the Migos, right? Oh, wait, Lil Baby's hotter than the Migos. Now I can put all my money into Lil Baby. Migos, we're going to cut your budget a little bit. We're going to wait till you get hot again.
And that's why Joe was mad, because he felt like
they're trying to undercut
they were
music
worth more.
industry 101. And for the entire time they're on Spotify, they've remained the number one before Joe Rogan got right?
Yeah.
They were the number one podcast. The number one podcast. The number one listened to podcast.
And he did the math. Apparently, like the money he was asking for wasn't really out of bounds.
No, but at the same time, corporate people, rich white men, because that's who are most corporate white people.
For sure, yep.
They don't want like, why am I gonna give you money? Why am I gonna give you a good deal? I remember I used to be like a apprentice to some business dude, and he said there's an art in like bad deals. Like you always have to get people in bad deals. It's like this is how they flex. You know, it's like this is how I got one over you because I'm so cunning and calculated. And Joe is not riding for that. Joe's been screwed over so many times via music industry. You kind of know what to look out for. You know, y'all worked with enough artists to know when an artist is going to be a little flaky, when he's a little sketchy, he's not in the right mind.
Right away.
Right
away.
So you know that feeling. It's the same reason why he left Everyday Struggle. They wouldn't let him smoke cigarettes in the bathroom. And if you think about it, that's stupid. You shouldn't smoke cigarettes in the bathroom. But if he's the number one breadwinner in your company, you're telling me you can't set up a bathroom for him to smoke in?
If you're the number one in my company, you can smoke whatever the fuck you want, dude. So,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, go ahead, smoke a cigarette. Like in here, it's hard, right? Because like you see the setup. I can't have the window open because of the car noise or the fan. So like, if someone wanted to smoke in here, I'm like, oh, I guess, bro. But like, because it's gonna
make an issue for the setup.
Yeah,
but a big ass corporation.
He's a big inspiration for me, Joe Budden. Like, I would love for our podcast to get there one day. That'd be cool, bro. Like, to get a deal and just be able to do this all the time. That'd be fucking amazing. So
we'll get there,
and we can get there.
We'll get there. We're not talking about ifs, ands, or maybes anymore. We're talking about facts and manifesting.
The law of attraction,
things.
bro.
Yeah.
We were talking about that earlier.
100%.
So with the political climate going on, I actually wanted to get your opinion on some stuff. So, did you see recently? So I read about this last night. And I was fucking dying, dude. Did you see Cardi and Candace Owens kind of go back and forth on Twitter? Did you? Yeah,
no. I followed that a little bit when I was on Twitter. That was interesting,
So my main question is: do you think either like the left or right? Do you think that they are using certain like artists like Cardi?
They've always have
to like
the right have used country singers at like every single presidential rally. Come on.
And then they're doing it, but
they're doing
for
it.
some reason, like when I felt like
they should not have had Cardi speak to.
No, they shouldn't have, because like he wouldn't interview anybody else. He wouldn't. They said come out of his basement. That's so funny when they say that. Like he's afraid to come out of his basement. He doesn't want to do debates really, but then he'll come in and he'll do an interview with Cardi.
He has issues. Not like this guy's going through it. From what I've seen, I think he has Alzheimer's. Or one of those, or dementia, and he's like slowly slipping. Which in my mind,
it's fucked up.
You're gonna have Kamala Harris as a president. You're not gonna have Joe Biden for 4 years. God forbid anything happens to him. Just from me looking out the outside, he's not looking healthy. He's looking like he's going through it.
He did say he's a transitional president, so that makes sense that he wouldn't be for the full 4. It's just weird having Cardi in this. So like, it's not that I like Trump or necessarily Candace Owens, but she did have a good point. Like, why you? Like, they're clearly trying to get people to vote for him.
And like, Candace Owens definitely has had moments in her life where she'll sound like a puppet, where she's kind of saying a narrative, like a right-wing narrative and stuff, right? But I do agree with her at this moment. I do feel like Cardi was being used because they knew Cardi wouldn't ask questions to put Biden in the hot seat. That a lot of people that listen to Cardi that don't give a fuck about politics are going to be a little bit more interested. But God, the cringe. This guy said, Joe Biden said, "Hey, you're Cardi B. They used to call me Joe B when I was young, so it's like we're related." What the fuck are we talking about?
Because she's like, "Oh my God, Joe!" Like, the voice she does, like
the voice she's using, and then he's like, You're part of our smartest generation, our most brightest generation. And he was saying that it looked like in her mind, like, is this nigga fucking with me?
He seems so proud.
Like, you talking to me?
And it's not that Cardi can't be into politics, but she just like...
No, more power to her.
Exactly.
But she doesn't have...
It doesn't seem like she...
She wasn't prepared.
Yeah, no.
Because everything Candace was saying, she couldn't refute. And then she said, I have the #1 song in the country, so that gives me a voice to speak. And that has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, Candace said something on Twitter like, "Oh, not only have you talked about like drugging and raping men,
yes,
like your songs encourage kids to do like sexual things." I guess that's what Candace was saying.
So why are we using her as the voice of reason?
Exactly. And Cardi even said like, "Oh, Trump laughs at all the black people who are getting killed by cops," and then Candace was like, "Yeah, show me a tape where he's laughing at black people getting killed." Like, Cardi, why did you say that, bro?
Because to
like,
be honest with you,
clearly
look,
he's not laughing at black people dying, bro. Like, clearly he's not.
I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican, right? I'm a me. I'll be honest with you. I'm looking for what best interests me, because I understand how the world works. You can join a party. You can join a gang. A party is the same thing as a gang. You can be in a gang and think you're safe and just become a fall guy. Just get fucked over one day. Because like you're the slow nigga and the lick didn't go right.
Yeah.
So now you're the one that's gonna get caught up, right? Presidential or political parties are the same way. They all try to unify people by giving them promises, which they never deliver on those promises. Never.
They all pander. They all use people. It's
So-
not just the left or right. They all
No.
pander and use people.
And people, which is weird, they rather than giving you facts, rather than them studying statistics and understanding a better way of refuting a claim, they just say Donald Trump. It's fucking stupid. People don't understand it was the same thing for Obama. When Obama was president, people were like, oh, it's because it's Obama. People don't understand the president is always a scapegoat. Same thing with fucking Bush, which is weird because me as like a young Ethiopian, I was hella into politics since I was like 8 years old. I've followed every presidential election I've been in this country just because it was always interesting to me to see how people come together for something. It was like a Coliseum battle. You know what I mean?
True.
Al Gore, Bush, who's gonna win?
But as we're getting older, we're noticing like, bro, you both are the same.
Yeah, the exact same. It
You
just
were the same monster, different mask.
it's like they're all in a club that we're not in, and they just duke it amongst each other to see who's gonna be the leader at that time. Just think of like a village of people on the planet, and out of those villagers, they fight amongst each other to decide who's gonna call the shots.
Yeah.
And they let that person do his thing, and they just swap him out for somebody else. So us at the bottom, we're never gonna see us sprouts. We're never gonna see the treetops and see the bigger picture because they keep clipping us down, and they up there on the treetops.
Yeah, I'm not Republican or Democrat either, but it's all of it's so cringe. So that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Uh,
They had a black guy randomly dancing at the Republican National Convention, doing the weirdest shit. I've never seen a black man move that way. I'm telling
was
you.
it the one where Herman Cain was still alive at, or
No, it was this one.
Oh,
This
really?
year's. Yeah, I'll show you all the clip later on. But this guy was like, I don't know what the hell he was doing. He was like, it was like
Well,
a bad Bill Cosby.
Candace is kind of like one of those people that like, so she's a black woman, obviously, but she's Republican. So they get her to say things that a white person can't say.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
if a white
She's
person
the
says it,
scapegoat.
it's like, oh, you're white
racist.
though. You're racist. You're white.
Yeah.
You can't call Candace a white person. You can't call her.
Well, they say coon.
Yeah, they call her coon, but you can't necessarily call her racist for some of the stuff she says. So I think they kind of use her too.
Yeah,
Like she
definitely.
definitely says things for the Republican Party that
She
another
gets
white
paid for
person
it
can
too.
say.
You can best believe.
Yeah.
You can best believe anybody that's in front of a TV screen that's saying something in agreement with the political party is getting paid to do so. Nobody's
She's probably
doing
getting
it.
fat paychecks.
Yeah, nobody's doing it out of the kindness of their heart or because they believe in their candidate. I believe in him. He's gonna win. No, I'm getting $10,000 for every goddamn word I say. This nigga's on fire. Make him president.
It's
How much?
true.
How much did I make? Hold on. He's dope too. Yeah, let's cut it. I got 100 G's in my pocket right now.
I know this isn't what you meant, but speaking of fire, bro, it seems like the whole West Coast
Are we
is
going up in
engulfed in
smoke?
flames, bro. Like what? A
It's
lot
a
of
little
people are
weird.
saying a lot of people are saying that it might be intentional. I don't want to be fear mongering here.
Just
so
for how much burn at one
Yeah.
time? That's a
now
little
that I'm
weird.
seeing all this stuff, I'm like, bro, what the fuck is going on, dude? 2020 does seem like the end of the world type shit. Like, so the first couple of fires was like, oh shit, you know, like the gender reveal party in California, and then up here, and then now like they had a confirmed list apparently of all the fires. I'm like, dude, this like, it's kind of scary, especially if you live in Bonnie Lake. Have you heard that they kind of had to evacuate a lot at Bonnie Lake?
No, I didn't hear about
So
that.
last night, they went into a level 3.
Oh man.
And it had like this whole mapped out area of Bonnie Lake. And I have a friend named Casanova who lives up there. And he said all of his neighbors were moving and like getting their stuff packed and out. And it seems hella scary. And I wanted to show you, have you seen the what Oregon looks like right now?
It's fucked up.
Yeah, let me show you this, bro, real quick.
Somebody posted something. I don't know about the factual, how real it is, but they're like the 4 states.
That's what Oregon looks like right now. That's not a filter, bro.
Straight orange.
Yeah, that is what outside Oregon, and I don't know where that's at actually. But somebody took a picture and I'm like, that's not a filter.
Somebody was saying the 4 states on fire: Washington, Oregon, California. I think there's one other one. They're all the states where Trump was trying to cut funding. So now funding can't be cut because they're all in a state of national emergency. So somebody said that, and I'm like, oh shit, that is interesting. All Democrat ran states
fucking-
that are all on fire.
Aren't we like the biggest Democratic states too?
We're one of them, yeah.
One of them. Yeah, I know we're definitely blue every election.
Except Eastern Washington's hella red.
Yeah, I think Eastern Washington's probably one of the only reasons Washington is so neck and neck when it comes to Republican and Democratic voting.
Wenatchee, Spokane, and all that.
So I think one of the last things we can end off with is I wanted to get your opinion on like, so let's say you for instance let's say you get hella rich and famous, whatever. So did you hear about Dr. Dre's wife asking for like hella money in their divorce?
Is it $2 million a month?
But if you look at the list, bro, she was for her phone bill. I want to know who her phone carrier is or what they offer, cause that shit, bro, she was asking for a hella money.
$60,000 for a phone bill?
Is she paying for like the whole block's phone? But phone?
Telephone, email, 60,000. Emails are free, so I don't know.
What kind
Yeah,
of,
that was really weird that she
kind of
asked
premium
him that.
shit exists for these people?
She must have been like paying for hell of people's phone bills because that was way too much money.
They got blowjob emails where you can send an email to somebody and somebody delivers it and gives them a blowjob.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like $4 a month.
I know a girl who recently got reached out to on Instagram, and the guy was like, "Hey, if you send me a selfie, I'll give you a $500 a week allowance for just sending me selfies." Like, imagine being that rich and weird, dude.
No, I can't stand that. I know. I have a couple female friends that have told me stories about them, like with older men, and them suggesting things, like some dude wanted to have her feet like take her, because they were like kicking it, right? He said, take her shoes off and rub your feet against my face. He gave her like $200 for that. Like I need him to stink, like sweaty feet.
No. What time are we at? Oh, really? Okay. So before we go, do you have anything like I want you to promote? So you have a song coming out Friday.
Oh yeah, Finger Fuck comes out Friday, 9/11. No relation, but it is the bomb. Featuring Gifted Youngsters, Reef Nuru, and produced by my brother, the Hist.
We'll link it below because it'll be out by Mondays, right?
Oh yeah. Out right now, actually. Correction.
Yeah, correction, because this episode coming out Monday, so we'll have it in the description for you guys.
Okay, so y'all go listen to Finger. That's out right now, featuring Gifted Youngsters, Reef Nuru, and produced by the Hist, mixed by NMN Productions. Shout out to NMN. What else? We're gonna get back to dropping content soon. Appreciate everybody still tapped in that's been following us. Local businesses, artists, creatives, painters, anything you're doing, anything artistic, we want to support you. Let us know. Send a DM. If you're gonna request for a video DM, please send everybody that's been involved in the project so I can credit everybody.
Yeah, and if you guys watched this episode, you're at this point in the episode, subscribe to their channel. Give them a chance, guys. Like he said, it's not like a huge. Like, there's not like all these people reading it at the same time. It's just right now, it's basically you and your brother.
Yeah, bro. It's like a mom and pop shop, and we just happen to have like really good pot roast. Everybody keeps showing up for it.
And just give it a chance, guys. Like even the you and Jaye King thing.
Yeah.
Like, hey, just you got to realize that like if you're not doing what he's doing, then you don't understand that behind the scenes what's going on. So just don't get mad, man. You know what I mean?
And the thing is, I completely understand where people are coming from. I understand the grievances, that's like something that we're trying to do better on. And, just if we haven't been able to work with you, we will. Though it was a weird thing too, like in our early days when we would go out to like public places and we don't know everybody in the city, right? Mm-hmm. I know just about everybody from like Des Moines where we grew up, and then a few people that I've seen that have been doing it that other people have sent me. A lot of the people that you see on the page in the early days, it was their friends or family members sending them their content to us, which made us aware, right? Mm-hmm. So if none of your friends are sending us anything, and you're not sending us anything, we have no idea it's going on, we're not ignoring nobody. We're not slighting nobody. We're not trying to be biased. It's literally just like we're not able to meet the demand at that level, right? Mm-hmm. We're trying, but we can't. So there'd be a couple of artists we'd see, like fairly bigger artists, and you could see you could see that like the anger in their face, like, oh, these guys, like, oh, they never promoted me, and and they've existed for a few months or a year.
And you know they'll take every opportunity if they get bigger to mention that like you guys didn't fuck with me.
Yeah, no, and plenty of people have send me like videos and stuff where they're like, hey, you guys didn't mention me, but it's like, yo, I didn't even know you existed. You're not even following the page. Like you go into the profile, I don't even say follow. How do I know you exist? Right?
Yeah, no one's tagging us in your stuff.
No, I'm not getting tagged. So just so y'all know, my free time is spent keeping my mental health good, kicking it with my family, watching and playing the stuff that keeps me happy so I can provide more for y'all. So not all my free time is not designated to promote for y'all. That's something I do on the side. That's a side hustle. Hopefully we get things moving and smoothed out so we're able to match the demand of everybody and we're able to make this a bigger conglomeration with everybody involved, right?
I think this was a huge first step. I'm actually so glad I got you on the show because I've been asking you for a while and you know Rona came in through. I think it's cool to have like 2 platforms collab.
But I love it. You know how
this is amazing.
How many times we try to get that with other people? Like
probably a lot, dude.
A lot of times, and then just they'll cancel. Like we were talking about people canceling on you last minute. We'd have something planned this weekend. No communication. Like not responding to nothing, and it's like, so y'all don't want it.
I don't think this area is used to professionalism, man.
That's the thing. That's the big thing.
Imagine if like I treated you today like how I would treat a Drake or something, right? I messaged you, I'm on time, I'm being professional. Like I'm not gonna treat you different because I know you. And people need to start thinking like that.
That's bad
bro.
business, dog.
Yeah.
Especially when you're creating, when we're doing something, you gotta respect the shooter. You gotta respect who's doing it.
Exactly.
You can't just be, this is somebody I know from way back. No. This is gonna be on camera. They're gonna tell how unprofessional you are. They're gonna tell you're not involved. You don't want to have the conversation. And you feel that too. When you're interviewing somebody and they're not fully in, it's like, get this nigga out of here. That Joe Budden Migos situation, you know?
Yeah, get him out of here.
Yeah.
All right, episode 32, guys. Thanks for watching.
32.
Let's go.